Evander Holyfield's the only guy's ear he's ever bit in the ring. Plus, Evander was fighting dirty in that fight too. So,
Well, okay, I'm just talking about like his capabilities. Like was talking about like he was just like straight up psychotic to be able to sit there and like restrain himself and so forth. Customato helped him out and keep his anger, but like once Cus passed away, there was that time in his own brain that he talks about where he's like questioning like suicide and so forth. And I mean that makes a lot of sense, but it's just a good representation of how fucking psycho he's willing to go. He's a fucking shotgun. Wait, what? Is that thing alive? You're gonna feed it honey?
I'm not saying it was right for him to bite his ear. I'm just saying Evander was being a bit dirty in that fight leading up to the bite.
Sure.
Not saying Mike's not cuckoo for doing that, but
I mean, in that era of boxing, hell yeah, there was lots of dirty fucking fighting going on.
yeah.
It was almost like yeah, go get some honey, Mecklin, please. Go get a drop of honey, please. Give her some honey. She's probably or maybe a drop of water, like on a Q-tip. Well, that's a carpenter bee, so yeah, it does pollinate, but all in actuality, it doesn't quite help truly because it's not pollinating the type of flowers that a honeybee would. It's just like going over to the trees. So yeah, it saves the trees. So I guess there's that. Well, no cream, because then there's other bees like in South America that don't really pollinate either, and they're bees too. They just happen to specifically only pollinate a very specific amount of flowers. So if actually those flowers were to be wiped out, like across the board, those bees would cease to exist, which sucks. So it's realistically the honeybee that needs to be saved in all actuality, because of its tenacity to pollinate different flower sources regardless. And yeah,
Mike Tyson loved the money. He just wasn't mature enough to handle it. He started fighting at a very young age, and I think mentally he didn't really have a chance to become an adult ever. That was his biggest problem.
right, but Cream, if you were to like let's say save just the carpenter bee, the carpenter bees aren't gonna go out there and pollinate the level of flowers out there across the field. Like if let's say you go put out a bunch of carpenter bees to the fucking clover fields, like yes, I agree. But as I'm saying before, specifically, the fucking carpenter bees aren't gonna sit there and pollinate your goddamn clover field. Like they're gonna go over and look for some motherfucking chunks of like decayed wood. Yeah. It's just super easy to grow, fast, and it's what bees can eat. And obviously it's what's in our honey today. But like man, oh man, like the different areas that do sell their own honey, like here we have, oh boy, you get some like blueberry honey and like I said before, Australian honey. Yeah. You obviously know what Australian honey tastes like. But fuck me, dude. If the fucking Africanized bee is the only thing that gets saved, oh fuck. We're gonna be in for a hurtin', because yes, they are ultimately like angry and will follow you and attack you, and they're vicious, but no, like they're just like the honeybee, only motherfucking we fuck with it like any wildlife that comes by is dead skis. I watch a guy on YouTube who goes around and handles Arizona Africanized bee hives and so forth. And it's fucking nasty seeing like thousands of bees just fucking swarming you and like stinging your fucking bee outfit. And this guy, he's a trooper. He just will sit there and go through and record usually by himself, or his wife will record when they're not as angry. But the times when he's like specifically trying to remove the inner compartments of the hive, they are fucking pissed. And if anyone was out there trying to harvest their honey, like let's say in some dystopic future, yeah, like we would need a motherfucking like specialized suit specifically so they don't get in any crevice. Like,
Well, we're probably gonna make like a superior bee someday, or simply something superior to pollinize plants with than the bee. I'm
true.
assuming that technology will be developed
Yeah, like
and
we'll
the bee
probably
will be
have
obsolete.
facilities, yeah. Or no, not necessarily. But like yeah, there is
Could be
fucking
robotic
DARPA.
little bee drones.
Yeah, DARPA making little tiny pollinators, but then again, to make honey, you think like you might think that the bee just pollination is something to be saved, but no, honey itself is actually key to a massive amount of food products.
Yeah, I imagine we'll find a way to make a an artificial honey process as well,
Well,
if
let's
there
call it
isn't
fructose
already
corn
one.
syrup. No, there is. It's the the little honey packets that you eat out of KFC. That's not real honey.
No, not that though. Like real honey, just not from bees, basically.
So how would you surmise that they would do
You need
that?
to make some kind of device, some kind of machine that creates it.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
sure
plenty of
humans could
beetles.
do
Uh
it.
huh.
Hell, maybe we'll make better bees than honey. I mean, better fucking honey than bees someday.
I
Something
mean, Cream, is
superior.
that a consensus amongst other bee scholars? Because there be motherfucking bee huggers out there too, dog. Oh, she is.
You know what goes fucking crazy over honey is fucking ants, man. They look like they're cooming when they're fucking swarming on fucking honey. You know it's always retarded that in Pokemon fucking Kakuna turns into Beedrill instead of Venomoth.
We're Cream and I are having a bee off right now.
I fucking hate bees. For some reason, I've never been allergic to them. I've been stung a bunch of times when I was a little kid, but one time one stung my hand and I had such a bad reaction. I think maybe the stinger was in too long or something. I don't know, or it was a different type, but my hand just fucking swelled up. Looked like a cartoon fucking hand that got smashed by an anvil. It was just like huge and red for like a week, and it was so
Yikes.
fucking unbearably itchy too. It was ridiculous.
Dude, there is the invasion of the Japanese hornet up in the northwest. Like they've been here in the west coast, but as far as it like actively forming colonies, yeah, like they're starting to fucking show up in the goddamn northwest and specifically an island off of Washington. Oh man. If they actively sat there in decimated colonies, oh fuck, that would that'd be worse than the fungus. Like that would be a legitimate active problem that they would not be able to directly get rid of like without having to demolish like different habitats and so forth. Uh
Put some meth in its honey.
I don't think bugs can taste the capsaicin, so it doesn't. I don't think process the peppers the way that we would in our body.
Yeah, just like birds eat peppers, no problem. They don't taste it.
Well, its feelers and so forth are moving, and it's doing a lot of moving right now and trying to get moving. But is that honey like super fucking sticky? Because it seems like it's having a hard time moving. Oh, there we go.
It's just feeling itself right now. It's high, euphoric.
If you get a little Q-tip with and have it be soaked in water, it can drink it like that.
Oh, you know this is actually from his cam. This whole time I thought he was playing a video.
No, don't drown it. No. What are you doing?
Oh, what is that bee? That bee's just chilling there by you? Is that your fucking pet or something? What is going on? Dude, doesn't that fucker have a stinger? You play with bees that have stingers on them still?
Yeah, I got straight up tatted as it has been said by the older kids of olden age. The bed
Fucking
daubers,
crazy. He's playing with this bee, like just crawling around, fucking
the mud daub
looking
wasp
drunk. It's fucking drunk right
is a
now. Look at it.
fucking vicious creature. They can sit there and sting you so many times because their little barbs that they have in their abdomen, like they basically have like a bunch of little tiny barbs that they're able to sting you with and will ultimately stop, but uh once they're done stinging you, they'll go to biting you because uh they only have one stinger, but they've got little tiny barbs around their stinger that they're able to inject that have venom like laced around it or whatever the fuck. So it's like every time they sting you, it's like it leaves a little tiny fucking tiny barb.
Is that your pet, Mecklin, or is that just a random bee that came in? Uh, I see.
I mean, now since you wetted it, it's probably trying to find a place that it can
Fuck.
properly dry off and fly, but it's probably
Fucking
so
Mecklin is
fucking
Johnny
close to
Appleseed or
death.
something.
Yeah, the heat will definitely bring it back. Or not. Maybe it's close to death. I don't know.
He's like, come here so I can poke you with my stinger. The bee that stung me, that gave me the bad reaction, in my hand. I was actually playing with it. So yeah, learned my
Yeah,
lesson there. For like
yeah.
a whole hour, I was playing with it in my hand. I guess I thought it lost its stinger already or something.
Oh,
And yeah, then it got, and it was bad.
dude, I was out at the lake and went back to go open up a can of high C, went back, swam, came back, and went to go take a sip, except this time a fucking yellow jacket was inside and on the tip of my tongue. It got me and it flew off
Oh,
and
you got stung on your
actually,
tongue?
oh my god, yeah, the very tip. I
That's
like felt my whole entire tongue swell the fuck up, and like my mom and friend's mom, they were all worried and like checking on me, like, you just tell us if you cannot swallow or breathe. Please do not mess around. This is serious.
they should have
we've
taken. I would have taken my kid to the hospital immediately if he
we've
got
all
stung
seen
on his
My
tongue.
Girl. We've all seen the movie My Girl. we You don't want to be that kid that dies. But anyways, Yellow Jackets? Oh, the carpenter bees? No, they still have a stinger.
They definitely have stingers, dude. Trust me. I've seen them.
Yeah.
They have massive fucking stingers.
But anyways, the mud dauber wasp was in my bedroom one time, and a mud dauber, not the mud dauber. The mud dauber wasp, the famous mud dauber wasp of Oregon. Anyways, I was drunk and high and like about ready to pass the fuck out in my chair, and I just feel this burning sensation. Only I guess the wasp had its way and stung me. I counted a good solid at least 30 or 40 times, and then bit me around the area, and my whole entire like skin, like there was a solid 2 inch area uh of nothing but like sting marks and like chopped